are back in the garage again. Scott here, and it is January the 4th, and it's in the year of 2022, and here we are in Ontario, where we have just been locked down again because of the Omicron variant. And believe me, if you guys are having the same experience as I am, there's a lot of people actually that are getting sick with this. And unfortunately, there's been a lot of division around this virus and the vaccine and the vaccinated and the non-vaccinated. But the reality is that whether you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, if you get this thing, it's a scary situation. And I just want to acknowledge, recognize, think about, and pray for everyone right now who's been affected. We all have, the whole world, but especially those of you who are going through a real difficult time right now because you either have it or you know somebody or you have someone near you, nearby, who has been diagnosed. I've got friends, I now have family that have been diagnosed, and it's just not a fun thing to go through. So I just want to say that, vaccination issue aside, anybody who gets sick, it's not a good situation, and they need to be cared for. They need to be shown mercy. And so I just want to encourage you, if you know somebody who's sick, whether you're vaccinated or not, give them a call, and let's just show some human compassion to those around us. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some more work on the old Omicron project bike right here. So this is going to be, now that we're locked down here in Ontario, at the end of the day, I don't have to commute 45 minutes per day, so I get an extra hour and a half a day on my schedule. And so from the last video, you can recall that this thing had some issues with the carburetor, possibly also with the ignition coil as well. Could be a problem with the ignition coil on the number 2 and the number 3 cylinders. So I'm going to begin the process today of pulling off the lower fairings so that I can get at the carburetors and get at the spark plugs as well. So maybe I'll do a quick video of those things in case you've never done that before, and then we'll go from there. Thanks. Okay, you got it there. Okay, that one there. That's the easy as that. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. And then the front piece comes off of here. And then this, I think, just comes out from the side somehow. I remember it being a little bit more difficult to get out. There it is. Lip over there. There we go. take this piece out of here. Take off that separately, and that gives you a little bit more room to wiggle this sucker out. There's all kinds of little things holding it in place. If you're not careful, you end up breaking these tabs off. But so you can see here, there's a tab here on the bottom. There's these two tabs here that fit in to these slots here, and then there's this tab that has to fit in the other side there. So that's the one side done. Now I can get to the, as you can see, I can get to the spark plugs, and I can begin to take off the lower intake bolts over here. All right, I won't bore you with the other side, but that's this side done. Okay, I got the spark plugs out here, as you can see. And this is number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. And you may remember when I was running the bike yesterday, or day before yesterday, that I thought that at first the number 2 spark plug wasn't firing, and then it started firing. That was this one right here. Can't really see very well, I don't think, but it's a bit dry. It's not too bad. Number 1 was firing, and it looks dry, a little bit sooty, maybe a bit rich. Here's number 3. Number 3 is wet. And number 3 was the other cylinder that was not firing. So it actually smells like gas. So there's fuel going into that cylinder, but no spark. And here, this one, again, is dry, a bit sooty, rich, probably because I had the choke on and it hasn't really been able to burn off a lot of that. So based on this sort of quick assessment, what I think we have again is we got fuel. Not sure if it's the right amount of fuel, but it is going into the cylinders. And we do have one, that old number 3 right over there, that wasn't firing. Might have got flooded out, I don't know. Might have got fouled up, I don't know. But eventually I'm gonna have to clean those carbs anyway, so I'm gonna do that. And then we'll check for spark and see, make sure these things are all firing. I always forget how difficult these things can be. And so I've got them out. Carbs are, they don't look too bad. Took me a good hour anyway to fight these suckers out of here. So the important things keep in mind is, number 1, getting the throttle cables out of here is particularly difficult. So what you need to do is you have to take off all the bolts. Most of you guys have probably seen these sorts of videos before. On the, which side is that? On the right hand side of the bike, you loosen off your intakes and you flip them up like this. That gives you a little bit more clearance when you're trying to slide them through. You have to go up through the fake tank, take all of the apparatus that holds the air breather, air filter in place. And then one of the other tricky parts, number 1, is this hose here. This goes up into the fake tank and it attaches to a little T up there. That's got to come out, otherwise you're in big trouble. Those 2 holes back there is where the choke cable mounts. I usually take them out before I try tearing the thing out. And then it's a matter of just being patient and taking your time to pull it through this space here. I'm going to go around the other side where the light is. And of course, I don't have much to work with here. That hose right there, that breather hose, or PCV or whatever you want to call it, that can be a pain in the neck. You got to make sure that stays out of the way. But I was able to pull it out with a bit of patience without having to take off the tank. There's the choke cable. That's a pain in the arse, man. And then those throttle cables, oh boy, they were something else. But if you persevere, you'll get her done. So in the next video, I'm going to start pulling these things apart, and we'll see what we've got inside of these. They don't look bad, so hopefully it'll just be some simple cleaning that needs to take place. And so we'll see you then.